Let's have some breakfast. Should we do the countdown? Like, did I come in too fast? We could do the countdown, but you hear me good? Don't want to do the countdown. Let me see. Where is the countdown? How does it sound like there's a phone around here? You know what? I don't even see the countdown. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Do we need it? I already got my breakfast. Let's go. Let me just see if we on because we don't gotta be all like that. Okay. Let me just make sure you hear me. Are you planning on eating breakfast with me? So I got cheese, eggs, and bacon, and I have a cup of coffee. Okay, where am I? Okay, here I am. Let's see. I just want to see, do I have audio? Okay, where am I? Okay, good. Okay, so good morning. It is 28 degrees in New York. And what's the date? Monday, January 5th. Is that 100? What does it say? Starting January 1st. Okay, I just got a notice here. We're not worrying about that. So what are y'all up to? We're gonna eat? So I'm eating breakfast. How you like my background? Have me some coffee. Let me see a little bit of it. See how the color of it is. Ooh, yes. I got my breakfast together. What y'all eating for breakfast? Ooh, what y'all eating? What y'all eating for breakfast? What y'all doing today? I think I wanted to come on because I got so much going on. Here, have some. I made these. Do y'all need to hear a prayer? I should pray over your food. So, our Father, bless this food which we are about to eat, the nourishment of our body. And thank you for waking us up this morning for this day. Amen. You don't gotta have no long, drawn out prayer. Oh, the light is coming. The light is coming. So, what did I want to tell y'all about over breakfast? I think. Okay, did I write it down? I might have wrote it down. Hold up. I miss hot sauce. I like putting hot sauce on my eggs. I really do. I have this cheese, but I like hot sauce. And I guess I like that little, tint of heat. But I like putting hot sauce on everything. Not Tabasco sauce. I hate when I go to a restaurant and they only got Tabasco sauce. I like a thicker hot sauce. Let me just look through this book. Because like time will start flying by. And then I'll be like, I could have used my platform to tell you about this meeting. And I didn't get to do it. And then I'll be upset. Ooh, this book is almost finished. I've been writing a lot. Oh boy. Do I got this written down? Yes. So Wednesday, January 21st, New York City is having their lobby day, and a lot of groups are going to be going up to try to encourage our legislative staff to um, be on board with the patrol bills. So a lot of groups that are advocating for people that are incarcerated are going to be going up. And one of the several organizations are going to be going. So I know about 3. So you have the National Action Network with the Second Chance Committee. You have Vocal New York. And you have, I think, an organization that supports seniors that are incarcerated. I think I know the name of that organization, but I'm not sure offhand. So I'm trying to see, do I see the name of that group? I'll know it when I see it, but it's not coming to me. But I gained relationships with these organizations when I was working with advocacy for people that were formerly incarcerated. So I met a lot of organizations. I don't see it right there. So let me. Okay, I think I'm going to get the name right here. Okay, so it's called Release Aging People in Prison campaign. They're called RAP. And the People Campaign for Patrol Justice is going to Albany Wednesday, January 21st. And they are welcoming people to join them. Now, if I put in the barcode, would y'all be able to scan it? Like, if I showed y'all, could y'all scan it? I'm involved with a lot of organizations that do advocacy for incarcerated people. And I don't like that. I feel like I know information and it's not getting put out there. Now, if I show you this, oh, you can't see it? That's weird. If I show you this, can you scan the barcode? Like, because they have these barcodes, you're supposed to be scanning it. Would you be able to scan it? Because I don't know how this thing be working with that QR code. The QR code, people said you could just be like in this angle or whatever and still scan. And I was like, I don't know what they talking about, because every time I try to scan one of these things, I got to be all up on it. And they were saying you don't have to do all of that. And I was like, maybe if you got an iPhone. I don't got no iPhone. Now look. Ooh, can y'all get it? If y'all can y'all scan it? No, I can put the website in and show y'all. But I want to know, can y'all scan it? Because people be putting that on the TV now all the time. Like, you supposed to be able to scan that. I'm like, really, guys? It works like that? Ah, I just wanted to do one little thing, and it got rid of everything. We're gonna do this again. I could show you my screen where I'm typing it in. I guess I should be telling you the site so you could be able to go to it. But first, let me show you. Okay, so we're gonna share the screen. So they don't give us no more than this. Anyway, so again, on January 21st, 2025, Parole Justice Lobby Day will be taking place. So it says that on Wednesday, January 21st, the People's Campaign for Patrol Justice, a statewide grassroots coalition, will hold their first parole justice advocacy day of the new year at the New York State Capitol in Albany. Get on the bus for parole justice. Join the People's Campaign for Parole Justice in Albany for our first Parole Justice Advocacy Day of 2026. Will uplift our vision for safety and parole and safety and justice rooted in reuniting families and meeting people needs, not endless punishment, by calling on the New York State legislature to pass the fair and timely parole and elderly parole bills. Food and transportation will be provided and they're asking you to RSVP by going to bit.ly/parole justice 2026. And when you do that, you will get this form. As you can see, this form is asking for your name. So it says, join the People's Campaign for Parole Justice on January 21st for the Parole Justice Advocacy Day in Albany to free our loved ones and make our communities safer. We'll gather in New York Capitol for rallies, creative actions, community meals, press conference, food and transportation provided. They ask for your information, your home address. They said buses will be available from several locations. So they'll be leaving from Nassau, Long Island, Suffolk, Long Island, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, Westchester, Hudson Valley, um, Ithaca, Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, and others. Wow. Um, do you have any dietary restrictions? So they're trying to make sure you don't have the food. For the day of communication, do you consent to being added to a community group chat? I don't think that it was all like this. Which one is this? I don't think my form was like this. I had applied. Did I get the same thing? No, see, I got it via text. I got it via text to me, and this is not the same form. Because I think this is specifically what I got is with Vocal New York, and what I'm showing you is the general um email, which is fine because if you're not a part of these groups, that's why you don't know. But you'll get to know if you're interested. Okay. And that's what I want to make sure you're aware of. And the reason why I'm doing it also is because I had told a lady I know that put me on to the organization. Yeah, see, my thing was with Vocal already. So I didn't get all of that. Okay. I didn't have to do all of that because I'm already with a specific group. But as I said, if you don't know Vocal, you go through it that way. So with Vocal, it just says thank you for registering. It doesn't talk about locations of buses. Do anybody want to put their name in? I'll put it in and be nosy. Anyway, you can email me if you don't have a computer or whatever. Would that work? Do I check my emails? We gotta be. I want to help. So tell me that you're interested and that you want to email me. You can email me at 12vels@outlook.com, and then I can register you. You give me a number and the email. But it would be better if you just put it in the comment section so I can know, because I don't really be checking my emails like that. I got too many things, I'm so sick of how they make us have to create a profile as you look for work, volunteering, anything. And it's just so many. And I just be like, I'm so, all I want is just be like, okay, come in, let's go. Hasn't happened. Oh, I know what I want to do. So I have a phone number. Let me make sure my phone number work because I be giving out my number all the time. Nobody be calling me. That's why I love it when people be like talking about doing things and how you can start your own. And then when you do it, like I had made my own flyers and I was posting them. Nobody called me. I was posting up my flyers and somebody that I knew had saw me. I was going to the laundromat and stuff because they have a lot of times laundromats have community boards. So they got community boards and laundromats and in libraries. So I was at this laundromat to flyer and somebody I knew saw me. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, okay, I got my numbers." I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to start my own business and I created a flyer and I'm just posting it." And she was like, "Oh, really? Let me have one." I mean, like how are we gonna do stuff and nobody gonna know? That's another thing that's crazy. Like you might want somebody not to know, but that's how you find out how many people you know when you try to step out and do something on your own. But I was all the way out in the Bronx, in the area I never been, and this guy that I didn't know knew that I lived at the time in Brooklyn, and he was like, "What you doing all the way out here? I seen you on the block." And I was like, "Who's this dude?" Like that's so crazy to me. And then I had went to I was working at the time, and the client I was with wanted to go out to Poughkeepsie. I had never been to Poughkeepsie. He wanted to go out to Poughkeepsie because he was going to Rocking Horse Ranch, right? I think it's called Rocking Horse Ranch. Anyway, and he was anxious and he wanted to go in advance. So I was like, okay, because he had a lot of money. There was like an unlimited budget with him. He was not black. Anyway, he was like, I want to go to tour the venue that we're going to be going to. And I was like, okay. And when I went up there to Poughkeepsie, one of the staff recognized me. I didn't know who that person was. So you don't know who know you until you really like venturing out, wandering. If they want to talk to you, I don't know. Anyway, I never try to, like do something on my own and give out too much of my information. So I'll usually like create a new email and I will get a burner phone. I would call it burner phones. I would get I get a prepaid phone from Target or something, right? So do we call it prepaid phone, or it's a phone that you put minutes on? And they have a lot of those phones at Target. So I had went to Target and got like a $20 phone that you upload with minutes all through a card. A track phone. So I purchased a track phone so that a person could be able to reach me. Now, you could do your Google number or text now or whatever, right? So I'm I'm not really familiar with that stuff, but people be trying to put me on because I'm always trying to start my own business. And it's not that I don't, like I was doing Mary Kay at one point, and that was years ago. So it was before I had a child. I was selling Mary Kay. And the way I was doing it was aggressive and ridiculous. Like I was the top seller for me was satin hands. I don't even know if they have satin hands anymore. I don't really know the products of Mary Kay. But when I was selling it, I would squeeze the satin hand stuff on my hand, and I would just randomly go up to a person and put it on their hand, and I would say, "Oh, I got a great product for you for satin hands." And they'd be like, "What?" And I was like, "Come on, let's go over there to water." It was hilarious. I was selling that stuff. I wanted to sell, and sometimes I can be an aggressive salesperson. It's depending on if I got the product. Like it's like sometimes it's harder for me when I don't have something, or if I'm not organizing it. Like I gotta know. A lot of times I gotta know, because I hate when I advertise something and then the person I'm doing it for, they don't like somebody or something, like they start acting up, and it's like ridiculous. They tell you to get, but then they act up. Oh, they be like, she can't, she can't come with me. She can't be here. And I'll be like, what's going on? This person already paid. Like, I don't know what's going on right now, but this person already paid. Then they be acting up. I can only go by my experience. And I'm telling you, I have had some really difficult experiences trying to do startups on my own. And one of the things that I find kind of difficult is securing a venue at no cost, right? So you can have a meeting. And like a lot of people, they want you to already have a relationship with people in the community for you to get that kind of thing. So it's hard to be on the outside of something. That's why I get mad with people when they be complaining about stuff that they're trying to do in the community and they don't got no relationship with nobody in the community. I'm like, well, how is this going to work? Like, who's going to sponsor you? They don't know you. And I keep trying to make it make sense, because I have made calls. I have come in person to people, and they be like, they want to know who I know, who knows me, who's going to be a reference for me, who's going to speak on my behalf, because maybe they've had really crazy experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a community meeting a couple of years ago, and some white people that look like hillbillies that came, and I was like, well, who the hell are these people? And why are they coming to this meeting? It's like, you got a public meeting. Is anybody to come? And this like one hillbilly looking guy, he didn't even want to sign in. And we was like, excuse me, sir, you have to sign in. But I was like, he don't want to sign in. I was like, what is going on here? I wasn't gonna focus on him, because I already had a bunch of people in there. I didn't have no time for it. But it's not like we didn't notice that. I mean, you never know when you're doing community events. You envision, because you want to help. Let's say you Black and you want to help Black people, and you're trying to make sure you putting something together for Black people, but your flyer doesn't say that, and it's open to the public, and you just like, you experience people that do stuff and they only get Black people, but maybe they know everybody. I don't know. I just know I have had public meetings, and there be all kind of people, and it's like, oh, okay. And I'm talking about all kind of people. I'm talking about everybody. Okay, so look, I want to call this number and see if this number work, because nobody calls me, so I don't know if this number work. Because they let you have it for a certain time. I'm not getting burner phones no more. Okay, so that works. It's ringing. I got my ringer off. Because I don't even know how these Google phones and stuff be working. So wait a minute. So let me call This other number I got. Oh, I'm gonna put it on speakerphone. Hmm. Okay, that number's not. Okay, so that number don't. That number I lost. So I lost a number under text now. And you know what's crazy with that? They're gonna give you a free number, then they're gonna put a certain time frame for you. It's not a forever. And what they want to know, like, why they monitoring you so hard? And then almost to keep it active, you gotta call yourself or something. Like, what's going on? Anyway, there's always a loophole, right? There's always a way. Okay, so let me let y'all know my number. Because I got your number. Now, I've had this number for some time. And I don't know. It's like either it's weird. I don't know. I don't know what happens. But the number I had got. Okay, so if you're interested in going to Albany, but where did it go? Where my oh, here it is. Why would it, what's going on here? Okay, so 646-926-2021. Why is it, wait a minute, what is going on here? Why is it not staying there? Oh, it's got it for 10 minutes. Why is it for 10 minutes? What's going on here? Why is it only for 10 minutes? It's got down 10-minute banner and it does a countdown. Since when they put a timer on a banner? Who told them to do that? I don't want no timer. What's going on? Okay, so we're doing it as a ticker. Okay, so if you are interested in going to the Parole Justice Advocacy Day, Wednesday, January 21st, but you need help with doing the, hey, good morning, Lefty. You need help doing the process of the internet. I help people with that kind of stuff all the time, you know. So if you want help doing this, you can give me a call and I can register you. Like I'll pull it up and I'll put it in there for you, okay? That is the service I can provide for free. I've been doing that forever. You can also call me and leave a message or whatever. I think we can leave messages. I mean, that's the number I've been having. It's just that I don't know. People don't really call or they don't leave a message. I don't know what they do. Do you have an Obama phone? No, I have a Google number. And I did a text now number on so Google has the Google Play Store, and with the Google Play Store you can download Text Now, where you get a phone number where people can text you, leave messages and everything. But you only get it for a certain amount of days inactive. So I gave out the number, but nobody called it. Do you get state assistance? No. Like I haven't applied for that because I want to work. So I have been applying for work and haven't gotten anything but emails of how I have a profile. You know, all these places want you to create a profile. So I got 1,000 things with these profiles. And I don't know if they want you checking it all the time or whatever. I don't know what they want. All I know is that I got all these profiles, and then I participate in these organization events like going up to Albany and stuff. So you can go, they people go up to Albany all throughout the year. So this is just something that people are doing starting now, but it's like they go all the time. And if you're with an organization, you're sponsored, you don't have to pay. So I usually do that. Like I stay active, but I'm not employed. You know what I'm saying? Like I can stay busy. But that's what somebody was telling me. They said, you know, in New York, you always find a hustle. So somehow I've been out of the work market for so long that I've just figured out how to hustle. It's weird. Like I don't understand like how I don't get jobs no more. Like I'm like almost locked out of the job market. If you did, you can get a free government smartphone. No, but it's nothing wrong with the Google number because that's just for random people. Like I have a phone. I'm on a family plan. I don't pay nothing because I have parents, right? So I have a regular phone, but I don't give out that number because that's my personal number. I'm giving out a number that rings to my home phone. Like this is my home phone, right? So this number rings to my home phone, but it's not my home phone number. You know what I'm saying? You understand, Lefty? Like I have a perfectly working phone that I can scan QR codes and go to these free programs and go to these events and get these uh these things. Like I got an invitation to um the mayor's block party, and that came in a QR code. See, it came in a QR code. So that was for the mayor's inauguration, right? It gave you a QR code so you could be able to go, right? And so I was talking to people, and we was like, "Oh, everybody got invited to the mayor's block party," but I know people that didn't get invited. So I thought that was so interesting because it felt like everybody got invited, but I know people that didn't. So that's interesting because I was like, well, then that's interesting because I had, I got on the list to from social media to connect to the mayor Eric Adams to go to see the fireworks, and like I thought that it was a lottery and that I wasn't gonna get in, but I did get tickets to the fireworks. But a girlfriend of mine, she didn't. And she was like, "What? See, I got fireworks. Use all this QR code. So when we get there, yes, but you can be like me and have two phones. I like having. I mean, nobody calls me, so I don't need two phones. Like literally, like I have done a lot of flyers and nobody calls, and that's because they don't trust me or something. They don't know me. I'm not with anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with an organization, but I do. Like I'll tell people my expenses or whatever, and I do get people sometimes to be like, okay, I got you. You know what I mean? But I don't really have any expenses. So the only thing is transportation, rent, and food. And I don't go to the supermarket and anything anymore. Like I really have adjusted to not. So I'm not like I am not with working people anymore. Like I'm really with seniors and stuff. So that's why like a lot of the people I'm around are 80 and stuff. It's so interesting. And it's like, how did I get here? You know. But I'm not obviously I'm not always with them when I go to events and meetings, but it's still weird. Like I'm around a lot of seniors. Like I remember I wanted to get with seniors, but I also wanted to get with youth. And I don't understand how I'm not really connecting with the youth at all. Like I'm not really around or in any kind of youth thing. And it's interesting because I don't know. I just feel like I get further and further away from like when I see people paying with Apple Pay and stuff, if I don't push myself to be in that kind of no, I don't I'm basically with people that do not even they don't even use the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's people that they don't be on the internet. They don't be doing all of that stuff. I don't even know how it works. Like I don't know how I get with it with wherever I get, but I have been to meetings where they only want you to go on Eventbrite. So I don't know how people are doing stuff, but I know the meetings I'm at, I don't see none of them people. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. So that's why I'm like, I want people to know because I know that the people that I'm around, they don't even want to go to Albany. You know what I'm saying? Like they like going to the senior center, they get to socialize there and they like to go down to the lobby in their building and they socialize there or whatever. And they have their network within their area with their people. And you're trying to pull them out and get them to rally with other organizations. They're not interested. You would have to already be with active advocacy kind of seniors, which you have at National Action Network. So when you're at the National Action Network, you may be with seniors, but they have been rallying and doing all that for decades. So they're comfortable. They don't have no problem. It's trying to get people that's not in there that's be like, I don't think so. No, I'm not interested in that. No, no, I'm not interested in that because And the National Action Network with Reverend Al Sharpton, like they're always rallying. So you just, if you've never experienced a rally, you can go there. You call them up, go there on Thursday. They rally every Thursday for DEI. They rally all the time. Like they was rallying for um the casinos. They wanted a casino in Times Square. That they didn't win that, but they rallied for it with the unions. So there's always opportunities to, if you've never experienced a rally, to rally with NAN, but you don't have that as the only organization. You know, a lot of times it's good to like meet people in other organizations and network. And so this is like, you're going to be around the People's Campaign for Parole Justice. These are for people who advocated for um people that are incarcerated, people that's not getting their rights, and you get to hear their stories or whatever. That's the people that's been going out. We outside, and they've been very active with the Robert Brooks Jr. case. Um, I think I have a picture of that flyer. I wouldn't be able to access it from here, but I can access it from my phone. And I don't know if that specific, they had like specific organizations that was also working with the Robert Brooks situation, that I don't know if they are going to photos, since I don't know if they are going up to Albany, but there's so many organizations and it's good to know of them. When I went to apply for a job with one of the organizations, they was only hiring in they weren't hiring in New York. They had positions open, but it wasn't in New York. So that's not going to help me. Um I know I got a picture. I want to show you that flyer. So where were they? Where did they have the job at? The job was as out a place I've never been to. Oh, it was in Rochester. So they be hiring, but they don't be necessarily hiring. It be in Jersey, Rochester, or even further, even maybe even further out. So it's not that um there aren't jobs, because people say, "Oh, there's jobs all the time." Okay, yeah, people do be hiring, but it wasn't hiring at the location that was near me. And things are changing. People are getting more funding, so maybe another opportunity might come, and it might work out for me because now they may know me better. But at the moment, as of 2025, I was unsuccessful with securing um, any kind of employment. I was only able to secure some stipends, but not employment. Payroll. I wasn't on nobody payroll. And that's what I was trying to do. So, you put out the resume and all this kind of stuff. It is what it is. But, if you keep active, you can continue putting these things somewhere on the cover letter or whatever. But I definitely suggest that you stay active, because no matter what, they asking for references. And if you don't do anything, you won't have any references. And they're going to be wondering, well, what have you been doing? And you don't want them to be looking at you all side eye. Like, how have you been inactive for all that time? You know what I'm saying? So you want to try to stay as busy as possible and try to, try to figure it out. Um, so I'll be going to these rallies and all this kind of stuff as I am seeking employment. So you ask, well, what have you been doing with yourself? I can say something. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll you don't want them to imagine you sleeping and laying up in your bed all day. You know what I mean? That's not going to be a good look. And I got an award from the public advocate office for my community work. So all of that is good. Because some people, they like and value giving back. You giving because they believe that you should always be giving back. Volunteering is looked upon as something positive. So you can never go wrong with that. But if you get with people that's really out of network, you're not really gonna find any kind of useful employment. So you gotta try to push yourself to really be with people that's working. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with people that's retired and you know they're not working. They on fixed incomes. So I'm with networks that's on fixed incomes. They're not really out in the workforce anymore, and they're not competitive. They're not competitive anymore. They're old. They're people they're not trying to do anything really. I'm looking for the flyer. Is this one of them? I don't know if y'all be able to see this, but this is one of the flyers that they had for advocacy going out there to where Robert Brooks was in that murder had happened. I wonder, do they have like a current synopsis about what was going on with Robert Brooks? They should, because people stayed on that case. You understand? And I feel that because of the presence of the people, we had a lot of success. So we still have a lot of things that people can be assisting with, and advocacy groups such as these that I'm talking about, that's going to be doing the Albany thing, are able to assist you. And I'm just trying to find the flyer that was really circulated, that I know I have a copy of it. As I stay active, and I have thousands and thousands of photos. As I'm always sending out information, and you know, and I see that it's still, you know, still a lot of people don't know. Ah, here it is. So that was Robert Brooks. So they had that circulating, right? And I'm sure. So again, just for people who are interested in going and they are familiar with the internet and they know how to maneuver with no problems, I guess I could put the email address up there, right? Is it up there? 8 o'clock. Thank you for being with me. Did y'all eat breakfast? That email again is bit.ly/parole justice 2026. If you put that in, you'll get this application, and you'll be able to fill it out independently, and somebody from the organization that's doing buses. And see says right here, are you able to bring other people? If so, how many? It's nice. So this is a general um, flyer. They're asking you, have you ever attended a rap event? Again, rap is for what does it stand for? It's for it's like there's so many organizations. Oh my god, I think it's up in here. Let me just see. Is it up here? Like I said, you got Vocal New York. There's a lot of organizations going up. NAN is going up with the Second Chance Committee. You can call that number. Do you have that number? Rap. Is that mentioned here? I know I had just read it to you guys. I don't see it. I'll show y'all Vocal New York just in case you're not familiar with that, because they have a website. All of these organizations have websites, but I know a lot of people are not aware of them. So the number is there in case you wanted to talk to me and you needed any help filling out the application. You see, nobody called me. Nobody ever calls me. I have to really be tied with an organization for people to want to be bothered. But you can't give up, because one day people may do it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stay with what you supposed to do. And I don't want to discourage anybody, because I might not get a call, but if you put your number out there, you may get a call. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. It's not my experience, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Oh, you know what? I was looking for the website, and I went on Google, and that's why I'm getting confused, because well, let me see. Does Google show them up in Albany? Hey, let me show y'all this, because you can research these places. They have meetings in Manhattan. They have a location in Brooklyn. I mean, it's just a lot going on, and I want you to know it's physically there. Like, it's not something that is not available for people. Oh, let me put myself. Let me let you hear this.
This is such an important day, being our National Black HIV and AIDS Day, to bring attention to the.
Okay, that is them in front of the city hall steps. That is them at City Hall. Um, and I wanted to show you maybe something in Albany. So I'm trying to see if they have something, them showcasing themselves in Albany, because that's local right here. I wanted to see if you get a sense of how it would be if you go up to Albany, um, doing lobbying. Like I don't know if everybody has had experience lobbying, but it is great to experience if you haven't. I don't have. I mean, I'm so used to lobbying. I've been lobbying a lot of the jobs I've had as a community organizer. So I just want to make sure people are aware that it's open for the public. I don't see them in. That's so weird. Like I don't see them in Albany. I wonder if I put it in because sometimes they don't do their own footage, but somebody else would have them. You know what I'm saying?
Fund our issue.
Okay, so this is a perfect video. Oh, I got it. Okay, so this is a perfect video of how they are in Albany. Yes, lobbying is great to what's that other word? How you doing, Jerome? So you said you wanted to see me live because you usually see me only on the video. So that's great. You got to be over here when I'm live. So I want people to see them lobbying. Like experience is a great experience. Yeah, I want people if they haven't. I just think that a lot of times people that are always doing something, they don't see the disconnect that they may have for somebody that's never done it, and that they could, because they've done it and they've done it a whole bunch of times, they can make that experience for the person that's never did it nice and smooth and transition nicely. Whereas a person that doesn't have the support, they may have a horrible experience because they don't know anybody in the group, and it may become disorganized. So I think the more people show how it is, get them comfortable, and so they can know what to expect. Because I've been doing lobbying and with several different groups so often. If I went up with a bus trip and they just let us scatter in the main lobby, I know where to go. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same place. I've been there too many times, so it doesn't bother me. But if people don't know where they're going, it's not good. And then they won't get nothing out of it. And if you don't have a person that's really organized, then they may not even meet their politicians. Like they should know who their assemblymen are and try to have a time to see their assemblymen, unless they're doing some kind of press conference where they're just coming in for the stairs. Like I've been there where we're just there to hold signs, have our T-shirts on. So that's another thing that a lot of times people get. They get T-shirts and stuff, which I like. You see, I don't know if you know, I got rid of all my T-shirts because I got mad because I was just so tired being unemployed. So I got rid of all my T-shirts, and I'm getting more anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get them all the time. You go to events, they give you T-shirts. There's no expense to the person. Anyway, let me show y'all.
Choose to save lives, right? Yeah. Rush to state housing, right? Yeah. We need money for harm reduction. Yeah. Drug checking services. Yeah. The housing access voucher program that she's blocked every single year. Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. So once everybody gets here, we're gonna line up on those stairs, make sure everybody can be seen and heard, and then we're gonna kick it off. Sound cool? Yeah. Word.
We were not created to live in fear, but we know that God put everything whole here in abundance. So we're gonna leave our issues right here. Jesus.
Amen.
Jesus.
Give us another one.
Can you give us another one, man?
Yes.
Come on, let's go. Holiness. Holy.
Oh my goodness, she's being extra. She's probably one of the chaplains. So we always have like a chaplain or whatever, and they ask them to start with a prayer. It's this one right here. I don't know, but they at the stairs. First of all, listen, I haven't been in nothing like that. Now, when you go there, they got the cameras. I don't know what's going on right here. They usually you get media, so they didn't put out press release or whatever. The people are set up. You have your group standing up on the stairs with the signs and stuff, and they have some elected officials or something that's supposed to be encouraging their colleagues to sign on to the bill that you're asking them to sign on. I don't know, like they mentioned harm reduction. That is one of the things I need y'all to see these stairs and stuff. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but we're gonna move her up for a minute. Okay, so these are some of the people that I know. Let me see. It's different energy inside monumental buildings. Yeah. First of all, people, I don't know if they really tell people this. There's no reason to bring any bags or anything. Because to get to the stairs where they're at, you have to go through this metal detector and stuff. And I don't know, like sometimes when organizations open it to anybody, and some of them are homeless, the homeless people like to take all their bags with them, and you don't leave the bags on the bus. I just need people to don't even bring your bags. But if you're homeless, leave them bags on the bus, because these people are not playing when it comes to going through the security. They got they got state troopers, right? So the state troopers is over here, okay, and they at the metal detectors. They don't want you with your hair covered or whatever. Like, it's a lot of stuff. So they should already let y'all know. Like, we just come in with our outfits. That's signage for them. I was even at one of the events with National Action Network. Where was we going to be at? They didn't want us to have on signage. They didn't want us to wear NAN paraphernalia or something. What was going on with that? Maybe I didn't have my NAN shirt on, but somebody had it. Like, they didn't want you to have on anything with any kind of, sometimes you have meetings where they don't want you to have any kind of flyers, signs, or anything on you. So I hope they are very organized. They will be very organized to know. Thank you, Peace, Jerome. So let me show y'all. These are vocal members. This is the organization. I've been going to a lot of meetings. I have shown y'all them on some of my videos. I like the meetings that I've been to. I like them, and I plan on going with them up to Albany. But there's a lot of organizations going, and a lot of organizations invited me. But I want you to see how it is in some cases in Albany. They go, I'm telling you, these organizations, all kind of organizations, they go all throughout the year. We're starting the July, this group, January 21st.
Shut it down.
My name is Tracy Adams. I'm a vocal New York leader representing and also directly impacted by the Users Union, the Positive Leaders Union, the Civil Rights Union, and the Homeless Union. Come on, In 2024, we all came here and knocked at Hoku's door. I guess she didn't believe us. I guess she thought we was going to die. But now today, in 2025, we're all alive. She has become disrespectful, inhumane, unjust, and insane to the people in our community.
That's right.
at a table. There you go. Our people are not bargaining chips at a table for your political agendas. Her state to state didn't include none of us here on this staircase. That ain't right. Or even in the community.
I just want you to notice that. See that white lady that came. She got a camera. She's probably one of the press, local independent press that's taking a picture. This particular event doesn't seem to be really, populated with the media, because maybe the media, they decided not to come, but they did. You have to schedule your time to be in this section, and you have a certain amount of time, and then you got to roll out, and next group comes. It's like, so this is all by time. You don't have like unlimited time, and this is an area the press can come if they want to or not, and they come. You say they usually have a podium. I guess not everybody, but they I've been there where they've had a podium. You speak at the podium. You express your concerns. Again, this is a year that I do believe that the governor term is up. I haven't been hearing people talking about that, but the term for the governor is up. As far as I know, this is a big month because it's Martin Luther King birthday. So at National Action Network, they have their MLK Policy Day. And at the MLK Policy Day, all of the politicians from New York goes to the House of Justice, which is 106 West 145th Street in Harlem. And they tell you what they promise that they're going to commit to for the year, and in the in the vein of Martin Luther King. And that will be at National Action Network. I'll tell you the date for that. And then I'll show you a little bit more of that. And then I feel that you got a gist of it, of what goes on at Albany, if it's organized. Like, I have never done that with NYCHA. Like, NYCHA, depending on what group you with, I have been with some. I'm telling you, Vocal is organized, and National Action Network, my experience has been that they were organized. They went there, but I've been with groups where they didn't. They I don't know. They wasn't very organized. We didn't go to any of our assemblymen's offices. I didn't really get nothing out of it. It's like they just wanted to take pictures that we was on the bus and we went there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something shady and ridiculous. But, what can I tell you? I can tell you how it's supposed to go. That's what I can do. Like, I can tell you that this is what you should expect. And some people, they be BSing. They really do. I have been with some New York City Housing Authority organizations that they were not up to par. So at National Action Network on Monday, January 19th, so this is the same week. So on Monday, January 19th, NAN is having their policy day, MLK Policy Day. And then there are groups that are advocating for people that are incarcerated leaving for Albany on Wednesday. You have to sign up with the organization to go on the bus. You can follow up with NAN if you want to go with them on the bus with the Second Chance Committee, and they have a process, right? So on Monday, January 19th at NAN, they will be having their MLK Policy Day, which starts at 1 p.m. So doors will be open as early as 11 or whatever, and you can start getting your seat. But it starts at 1 p.m. That's when all the politicians and so on from the city of New York will come, and they will tell you these You see, I can show. I can show you example of that. But I just wanted to show you, how the groups come for Policy Day. If they have media come out, they will make their statements about what they are asking for assistance for, and oftentimes they'll have representatives there that are trying to push the bills that they're asking for. And one of the politicians that has been very active with the Robert Brooks Jr. situation was Assemblyman Eddie Gibbs, So that is his area. That's where he works, right? That's one of his locations. He has a location, of course, in East Harlem, and then but he works in Albany, and he has an office there. So you try to get with the scheduler to schedule an appointment to see if you can have a couple people talk about what your concerns are on that day. And I find that my experience that I've with organizations I've gone with representing NYCHA residents, they have never done that. I've had to be with other organizations to be able to experience that. I've been with organizations for education, for the issue that we had was inclusion. So we wanted educational inclusion. They wanted to stop having children with IEPs being taught in a separate classroom for people with general education. So we went up to Albany to advocate for inclusion. And I mean, they had it really set up where you was talking to the assembly people. Whereas I've never done that with the NYCHA groups I've been with. And I think that a lot of times we have these ridiculous issues because some people, they never really shake it up. You know what I'm saying? They never really shake up anything. They don't make these people understand that we're not playing. We're uncomfortable. We will make you uncomfortable. And it's okay. You don't have to go about it like that. You don't got to be too aggressive. But I'm telling you, NYCHA they be falling off with their they be playing up too much. You know what I'm saying? They don't be bringing it. They be playing games, in my opinion. But I'm happy that I've experienced other organizations that don't play games. And I'm saying that Vocal New York is not an organization that plays games. Okay, I like them. And let's listen to a little bit more.
She talked about efforts to criminalize our people. She talked about involuntarily hospitalizations. Oh my God.
Kendrick's law.
Talk about it, baby. How dare you?
How dare you?
Yes.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
So right now, the clock is ticking, and you're running out of time.
Come on. Tick tock, tick tock.
Your vision of New York State does not include my people, your people, or our people.
That's right. That's right.
Once again, it doesn't include my people, your people, or our people in the community.
Yeah. That ain't right.
It includes people that think they're above the law, and they're not.
Not above the law.
You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. You're not above the law. All right. With the new Trump presidency, it is terrifying to know that Hochul would rather lean on policies of criminalization and incarceration, promoting jails and prisons as a public safety intervention, instead of addressing the root causes of these issues through sustainable funding and bona fide policy. In other words, Hochul already knows what she got to do, okay? We was here last year, beating at her door about the same issue at our hands. Our people are overdosing at a high rate. Children are growing out with their mothers and fathers because she's incarcerating them instead of finding them help.
And there's 14 men in our
intervention works. It does work. It's the people behind the intervention.
Stop putting the drugs in our community. Stop putting the guns in our community. Yes. Stop it.
believe that. And some of my brothers and sisters coming home gonna have voters' rights. Okay? I'm a taxpaying citizen, like my brothers and sisters back here.
Yes.
And the people in our community.
Oh, yes.
I'm here as a leader in my community, showing up with my community members. We honor our loved ones who passed away to senseless violence from the state poverty, overdose unmet, mental health needs. We honor them as a statewide team of members and leaders. We are here because they put us out of the war room, so we're on your staircase next to your office. We're here to take our collective grief and anger right to Hoku's doorstep. We're not at your doorstep, we're at the first glass door. And you better be glad we're not like those men on January 6th who to bust this shit up. We've been moving. One thing, our 2025 statewide platform was ratified by directly impacting New Yorkers. That's behind me. And our demand is clear. Build a New York that is rooted in humanity and dignity, and not in criminalization and stigma, or more lives will be lost. If you continue to do what you do, I will rally and protest and make sure that my people, your people, our people, Hoku, do not put you in office, and anybody that runs with you. We gotta end the war on drugs. We gotta talk to our people not to take the drugs.
Amen.
Because they are setting us up for failure.
Amen.
One mic, one mic, one mic.
Amen.
Okay, so right now, I would like to bring up my brother Majid.
That's right.
Let's
Let's go.
As Malcolm said, it's the ballad of the bullet.
They might be a little wild, but at least they are directly impacted. We want people that are directly impacted to have a voice. How are you, Tisharia? Hi. And I support this organization because I am against criminalization and stigma. I supported the Second Chance Act. As you see, she said that she was a 2-time felon. We oftentimes advocate for people to talk that have experienced what's going on. We want the people that are directly impacted to organize and support themselves, and this organization supports that. And I like to support them, even though I don't have that kind of background. I do agree that the drugs are being poured into the community. I believe that prevention does work, and I believe that we need proper programming and so forth. And I don't believe in the government or policy to automatically force people to take medication, right? So it's a lot, because we have people that are directly impacted supporting each other. See, all of them respect each other. They all know each other, and that's why when they start getting loudy and loud, they're able to say one mic and they respond well. Of course, you can be in community events that are open to the public where you may have people that are very passionate and they don't know anybody. They feel like they're being locked out and they're not getting a voice. And that's unfortunate. And I feel like that is why we need to promote things and let people be aware before something happens. Like, it's not right for them not to have known, and they know where they go, they hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the reasons I find that people may start screaming and they yells because they feel like something was put together that they were not allowed to be a part of. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, I didn't know about this. Why nobody told me? And I really think that that's messed up. But I think that as a whole, if all of us make people aware that these things are going on, and that we do show that it has happened, and that people that are directly impacted are speaking, that their voice is being heard, that people are taking what they're saying, what they have experienced, they're listening, and they're trying to make policies around that, right? And you can't say, oh, this is some rich person that's talking that's never experienced anything. Like they were saying about Zoran Mandami, our current mayor. at least it appears that the current mayor that we have wants to hear what's going on, and he wants to put people in position that are about business. So if we stay on the person and we support the organization that I'm showcasing right now, supported Mandami, right? You see how they said they're voting bloc. They supported him, and I hope that he has a working relationship with them, as he had promised. He had promised that they had some kind of relationship. That's probably my son. Hold on. Now I'm just gonna let it run. You at home? Hey. You stayed in your area? No. Anyway, so let's go back to Cecil Moore. And
Malcolm said, it's the ballad of the book.
The ballad of the book. Good morning. The ballad of the book.
Night. My name is Majid, and my pronoun is a street doctor.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
I want to start off speaking about wrongful conviction. We have 98% of the people who are incarcerated today wind up copping the plea. 91% of them are black or brown, 8% are Caucasian, which leave 1% or maybe a little less that is Asian.
Right.
And with that right there being said, if all men are created equal, how come 91% of blacks and browns are being convicted of crimes?
Say it.
Speak your truth.
And have no wrongful conviction to stand on.
Say it.
Say it again.
I was wrongly convicted and I wound up going to prison. It took me 10 years in order for me to fight my crime because I kept going back to lockup. Once you go to the asset, you are not allowed proper access to you are not allowed proper access to
your property,
the
law library.
to your discovery.
That's right.
You don't have access to someone to sit back and fight in your the defense. And so as a result, it just really beat at me. It ate me up. And when I finally wound up overturning my conviction,
Amen.
I went home a bitter man. I had resentments that I held for over 10, maybe 15 years.
Come on.
Which wound up not allowing me to be a productive member of my society. I hated everything. and races I breeded on. That's not right.
That ain't right.
Sorry you went through that, brother.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I have a story today to sit back and allow you to understand the barriers which put in front of our faces.
Tell him.
For us to sit back and understand that this ain't right.
Come on.
And it's not because the system's broke. It's systemically designed to hold the class and race back. Going on that right there, we need to sit back and speak about, can I get a hand?
Daniel's law.
No, not Daniel's. The executive order
Medicaid
for
reentry.
Picking up people on the street.
Medicaid reentry.
Medicaid reentry. You know, you have a lot of people that sit back and they're incarcerated, right? And we understand you have hypertension, you have everything. Thank you. You have hypertension, you have people that you're not eating well, so you wind up getting high blood pressure, you wind up getting diabetes, you're stressed out, people die stressed, people hang themselves. You know, and so we need a path forward once we get out in order to help us get back on our feet. Because for me to sit back and spend however many years that I had to do and come out and start from the bare minimum where first I have to find an ID, then I have to do my Social Security, and then I have to do all these other things, you know, and a lot of times they sit back and they send you to a program that a lot of us don't even believe in.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause I wind up going into a reentry program that I felt that it was only done through bureaucracy, you know, to justify their cause. And so I have resentments over that, and the help that was offered to me, I didn't believe.
And it was probably
You know. So from that, I want to speak a little bit about Daniel's law. And so, all right, anyone that don't know, understand what Daniel's law is, Daniel Prue was a man that is living out in Rochester, New York. The police sat back and killed him in the middle of the street, had him butt naked in the street in the wintertime.
Right, it was the cold.
With a spit mask over his face to suffocate him to death.
Wow.
The administrator covered it up. The mayor wound up getting fired. The chief of police wound up, he disappeared for a minute and tried to come back as a Republican so he can fight and take her job. But the worst part about it all, this happened in the dead of winter 2020. Most people from Rochester never heard about it until after George Floyd. And they wind up putting a public massacre on every news channel you can see. And wind up bringing it over and over and over again. And I want to speak to y'all because, see, my father was killed by the police.
damn.
That right there had me traumatized as a child. I've dealt with this my whole life. And it affected me in so many different ways that I'll never be able to explain. And even today, I still fear of being killed by the police the same way that my father was. You know, and all this stuff brings trauma. Trauma is never addressed throughout any budget or anything else. Like when they sit back and they speak about certain things, that's not even mentioned. Daniel's law will wind up allowing people who know how to de-escalate will be the first people on the scene. Like, can you imagine, if your house is on fire and you call 911, will they send the police first? No, they send the fire department. So why in the world if I call you and tell you that I have a traumatized brother and he's having an episode, you're going to send an insensitive police to come there, shout so many different demands at him. And if he find him non-compliant, which I mean most black animals are, that right there give him a reason to choke him, throw him on the ground, throw your knee up in their neck, and let the whole America watch and see what happened as they turn around and wind up slandering your name instead of holding themselves accountable. Yeah. So we need these bills. We need to address certain issues like that, and I just want to thank you.
So I think that's what makes them excellent. They have bills. Now sometimes those bills don't go. They don't get a scene a day. They don't get no day of light, but they stay on their behinds. You know what I'm saying? They have the bills. They trying to put it out there for the bills to be done. Let me see. He said Dallas has mental health unit that ride with some police. That's good. Mandami wants to bring more. The current mayor Mandami Mondami wants to bring more mental health staff into everything, but it's always about the staff, about having people with the proper credentials, and oftentimes, in my experience as an advocate, they say they don't have people that meet the criteria, and they can't. They having a hard time hiring appropriate staff, and these are ongoing statements that they make. Is it true? I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I think that one of the major problems is I don't think everybody knows the issues, and I don't think that a lot of the issues are being publicized. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to show you now, that gives you a sense of how the day is when you go to Albany, right? Now that is just one group. The today I'm talking about is going to have a whole bunch of those groups. Okay. Sometimes when you have elected officials, they will talk more, but what you will have an opportunity to see the politicians make their promises on Policy Day, MLK Policy Day at National Action Network. So I wanted to show you an example of how that goes, because that is something that is very well attended, but I don't think a lot of people are still aware of it. And I think that's not good either, because this is an opportunity where you get to see all these politicians. Hello, Joshua. Good morning. So I wanted to show you an example of how Policy Day goes at the National Action Network, which again, that will be on the same week, but it will be Monday, January 19th at the House of Justice, which again is at 106 West 145th Street, which is in Harlem on 145th Street. Usually the 3 train takes you to 145th Street. You have to ride in the front cars before the conductor, because it's a short train station. And you can also take the A train, C train, D train, all of those to 145th Street and go to Lenox. So it's at the corner of Lenox. There are call the Mental Health Crisis United. They are mostly nurses or counselors that work with mental health. So it's really just a matter of New York organizing with them, because oftentimes they get very aggressive police officers that are not trained to deal with people in crisis, and they usually end up murdering them, which is unfortunate, and it doesn't make sense to me and a lot of people. So here's an example of Policy Day at National Action Network.
This morning, we had our annual Washington, D.C. Martin Luther King breakfast virtual. And President Biden spoke, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen spoke. So let us hear from our officials today. Let us welcome first to the platform to address us, and of course, we're on live around the country, the governor of the state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul. Let's give her a hand.
Now, again, I come in to remind you that this is the person that they was talking about, that they felt was being disrespectful, and they was threatening to vote her out. This is our current governor, Governor Kathy Hochul. Now, oftentimes, of course, I should hope you know that at National Action Network, they let the politicians speak. You're not really having no people speak. They don't really have question answer kind of thing. This is a day that they come, you get to see them and so forth, and they come and they make their promises. So this is what you get to hear. Okay.
Good afternoon. Oh, what a great day it is as we honor the memory, the man, and the movement of Dr. Martin Luther King. That is why we are gathered here today. And I want to thank Reverend Al for keeping the flame glowing as high as Dr. King would have wanted, keeping that movement moving through generations and generations. And today we continue to pass the torch on to the next generation to keep the dream of Dr. King alive. And that's what today is all about. And so, my reflections of Dr. King, and this is going to tell you how old I really am. I wrote a book report about his life as a child growing up in a very strong social justice Catholic family, where we spent a lot of time going to Dr. King's marches that were spreading all across places, even like Buffalo, New York, while he was still alive. And the night that we got word that he had been gunned down, my family gathered and we held hands and we prayed for what was happening to our country. And that was just a precursor of a very dark time in our history. Months later, we lost Bobby Kennedy. Then we had riots in the streets. We had a lot of injustice, and we had a Vietnam War going on.
So as you can see, Lefty's in the chat talking about that she's full of ish. But again, this is a time where they come with reflections about Martin Luther King and how they keeping the policies. Now, as you just saw, some people that are actually going through the system are saying that she's not putting the people as a priority. These are the things that you have to see for yourself, because they're gonna do this song and dance that they always do. That's why it's very important that you get involved with people that do things directly. Now, one of the things that I just want to help you focus on is the fact that if you've never met any of these people in person, this is your opportunity to actually see them. They do come, right? So they are in attendance and you get to see them, and they will share their reflections about Martin Luther King. That's what you get to do. Now, some people they may think that it's a song and pony show, but I feel that it's valuable to see the people, especially if you haven't, because I think one of the major disconnects with people who don't vote is that they say, I don't never see these people. I ain't never seen them. They don't mean nothing to me. Right. And so I think that the people that see them all the time don't share and make sure people understand and stay connected that do see them all the time. And then you can also say, well, you see them all the time, and then look how they still treating our people. But we have to first really know. Like, it's too many people, in my opinion, that don't know. Like, they don't know who Kathy Hochul is. When they say governor, they may be still thinking of Cuomo. And this woman then been the governor. I'm telling you, I believe her term is up. So this is important. And if you end this political game, but the less people know, right? So it all goes by it says, the Bible says that our people die from a lack of knowledge. So if we continue to let the people that are directly impacted not be informed on how to go about these things, that's what makes it wrong. Now, a person that doesn't like the nonsense and the rhetoric, they don't have to go there in person, right? But they can at least know that it's accessible online, so you can be cursing and saying your stuff in your own house and not be there, because you don't want security to drag you off. This is an environment where they'll have the security drive you off if you start heckling. You be like, you're full of child. They're going to say, excuse me, shh, because they give the utmost respect for these politicians here. So it's not going to be none of that. You have an outburst, they're going to give you a warning, and then they're going to drag you out. That's something that happens here. And that's why these politicians come. So I would suggest, if you don't feel you can keep your comments to yourself, at least get to see the people, look at it online. Like they National Action Network has a YouTube channel, has a website, has a social media outlets on Facebook and Instagram, and you can watch it from there. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to physically go there and get familiar with these people, see them for yourself, I would suggest you come. I would suggest that you go. I do. Because you get this, just to see, get this feel you might get to speak to one of the staff for her, get their card. We get cards all the time. How well they respond is dependent on how well the person is able to express their situation. Because sometimes people are very passionate. They are also very they're very scattered with what they're trying to express, and because they don't get to practice and train, when they get an opportunity, they might have these aggressive outbursts, like the man who spoke in the video before. He said that he was very angry and so forth. But see, through training, because vocal, they have meetings every month and so forth, and they go over allowing people to be heard, to speak, to share. And then because of the practice and the support, everybody, right? So everybody with the vocal hoodie know each other, right? So you feel supported by your peers. You know who you're around, and you may feel more empowered. So that's why it's important to secure funding for programs that teach, empower, get people to hold on to their voice, and help people organize their thoughts to express something clear and not come off like they are violent and dangerous. Because them politicians, they be acting like somebody trying to kill them, and then they get their security heavy on you, and you just might be speaking passionately. That's why I would encourage you to start your YouTube channel and get it out and have a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to practice hearing yourself, expressing your issues, and by putting it out there, there are people that may have similar situations, be able to share stories and so forth, and you may be able to start a podcast or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's important for you, if you don't feel heard, to practice what you want to say, because a lot of times people get on the mic and then it's so many things they want to say, and then they get kicked off, or they say time, you know. Look, you don't, because you on the mic, everybody quiet, you not used to it, and then you just be going on, and everybody time. But I ain't finished. I did goodbye, sir, and then you get dragged off. I see that all the time in these meetings, and if you haven't, I think it's interesting to see. But sometimes people want to know ahead of time, right? And they like to know that they're in a supportive environment. And I'm trying to tell you that we do have supportive environments out there, but there are protocols that you have to follow. And in this environment at the National Action Network, this is the time to just let those politicians that these Democrats done voted for, mainly almost everybody in that room when you went in voted for these people. So they are supporters. You're in a room full of supporters. So you got to really take into consideration how you trying to step into this room, because they done voted for them. They helped campaign for them. You know what I'm saying? These are supporters. They have done no wrong. And the people that are complaining that you may see vocal, they're not necessarily coming and telling the people here that are supporting them the issues. So these are all these things that's going on. Like, there's issues going on. I didn't know about Daniel. I didn't know about some man. I've never been to Rochester. So I don't know about no man getting caught, killed, and stripped naked in the street and just dying out there. Because I don't even know nothing about Rochester. I really don't. Okay? I've never been there. I've never been to Rochester, New York. I'm willing to go with someone to take that, know that they're going, and go with them, but I have never been. And as of right now, there is no reason for me to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, that's not a point of reference. I'm right here in New York City. I'm good right here. You know, we got a little enough going on through the boroughs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they might have jobs out there. You got a car, whatever you driving, and I don't drive. There's a lot of things I don't do. You know what I'm saying? But I used to be able to get a job. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go back to her. This is the governor.
This is all going on as my childhood was opening up my eyes to the injustices in this world. And I remember the words of Dr. King, that every single day you must wake up and say, what am I doing for others? And that's what drew me to public service. That's why we're here today. That's why we're here with other outstanding elected officials, like our great majority leader in the U.S., not the New York, but the New York State Senate, United States Senate, and that is the one and only Chuck Schumer. He'll be hearing from shortly. Chuck Schumer is here. And our Congress member, Carolyn Maloney and Adriano Espaillat, great leaders who I serve with in Congress, incredible individuals. And our speaker, brand new speaker, a female speaker, Adrienne Adams, you're going to be hearing from her as well as some of our district attorneys and others who've joined us here today. We come together to join with clergy and community to say, this is our moment. This is how we'll be judged generations from now, how we respond to the call to continue the fight for justice. And that is why on December 23rd, one of the bills I was so proud to sign into law declared that racism is a public health crisis today. Because the war is not over. The battle is not over. The march must go on toward justice, because we are not there yet, my friends. Dr. King would say we are not to the top of the mountain just yet. And one of the issues that we must galvanize behind is recognizing that, yes, we've come through a difficult time with this virus known as COVID, but there's an insidious virus that's attacking our very core of our democracy, and that's known as voter suppression. We must link arms together to fight against what's going on, not in our state, thank God, but all across America, while evil forces are trying to stop Black and brown people from exercising a right that Dr. King fought for as well. And we won't let that happen. We're going to continue fighting, marching, making sure that our leaders in Washington respond, even those who are not with us now. We need them to turn their hearts and do what is right. And also at our state level.
So I think you get a sense of that. Let's move it up to another politician because they get a certain amount of time and they all have to speak. But you know they give a lot of love to all of them. Now this is Schumer. You get all of them come here, all of them.
To the subject at hand, I would like to spend a minute. Yesterday, I was up at the funeral of those beautiful 17 people who were lost in the fire in the Bronx. One as little as 2 years old. A father told me he lost 3 of his children, one a 12-year-old girl, one a teenager, and one a 22-year-old had just graduated and ready to get out and do good things in the world. So I'd like to think of them. They didn't have adequate heat. They didn't have their doors fixed. They had to have these heaters. This shouldn't have happened, and it cannot happen again. Let's think for a moment of that great loss. Thank you. Now let me thank my friend. As he says, we go way back, fighting the fight in Brooklyn when we both started out. And he's a good friend, and he does so much to make our city and our country a better place. When times get tough, as they are now, just as they did during the pandemic and political unrest, there's nobody you want in your corner more than Al Sharpton. He's in my corner. He's in the left corner, where he should.
As you can see, there's a lot of kissing up going on in these events. But if you have never been, it's good to just experience it, in my opinion, so you get to see for yourself instead of hearing it from a third party. Again, this is the person that was in the way of people getting food stamps, people's getting mad. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on. Let's see another speaker, just so you can just get a sense of how it's usually handled in these kind of situations. Yeah, you can ask grandma about it. I'm gonna play this one. Hold on.
Of New York, who started her first public address when she was appointed to the Senate, was right at this platform, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
Thank you, Reverend, and thank you to Senator Schumer for his leadership. He is fighting the good fight, and he will never give up. I promise you that. It's great being here at NAN. It's great being here for MLK Junior Day. This is a day where we really do lift up a legacy that is far greater than any of us. And Reverend King's legacy was so important because he was a man who represented the best of our history and fought against the worst. He looked and he talked about what we needed to overcome as a society and as a people. In one of his last sermons, he said, "This is America's opportunity to help bridge the gulf between the haves and the have-nots. The question is whether America will do it." That is still the same question we are asking today. We have
And that is, as you know, the truth. I won't continue to go on and on with this. I wanted you to have an example of it. I see that we are almost at the 2-hour mark. I thank you for being with me, for joining me. Again, these are things that they happen every year, all the time. Like I'm telling you, people go up to Albany all the time. And I just want people to know that it's happening, know that these places exist. And I like for us I like for people to do better getting the word out. But thank you so much for joining me. I want you to have a great day, and I will talk to you again later. Bye, guys.